it was a pretty good episode of The Traitors. I do have to say, I think Alan Cumming oversold the Banquet situation. You know, he called it carnage. I believe he said it was like the best moment in Traitors US history. I don't know about all that, right? Like, were we watching the same thing? Because in my opinion, after watching the Banquet, the best moment in Traitors US history was none other than Boston Rob going, Bob, the drag queen. Like, that was crazy. That lives rent-free in my head. I go back and watch it frequently because it gives me, you know, the endorphins that I need to carry on with my day. It was good, but it wasn't like earth-shattering, groundbreaking, whatever. You know, you have 2 elixirs and somebody has to drink it if you think you were in danger. And we know it was between Kristen, Natalie, and Jam Jam. And Kristen and Natalie were the ones to drink it. Natalie was like, you know, she said she went into fight or flight mode. She was very adamant that she be the one to drink this elixir. It rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But lo and behold, it was Jam Jam who unfortunately was murdered by Lisa Rinna. What a great strategy, right? I was trying to think all week, like, how could she get somebody to touch that without it being super noticeable? Just open it up and say, oh, can you help me pin this? Flawless execution. But as Jam Jam is being dragged out of that place, he's screaming, he's yelling, and he's like, Lisa Rinna kissed me. She kissed me. She kissed me. She kissed me. Lisa Rinna's like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. And after that Banquet, I was like, okay, it has to progress to the round table because that alone was not a big enough moment for Alan to be like, this changes everything. It did, but only because of the round table and who changed it at the round table. And of course, that being our man, our one and only, the love of our lives, Robert Rauch. Can I just say, when I saw Rob show up on my television screen this week with the mustache, I was like, great. I just know my husband has been trying to push a mustache on me for like 6 months. And I know as soon as he sees this episode and sees Rob rocking it, it's over for me personally. But, you know, Rob is winning this game because he's playing like a tried and true faithful. And Candiace does not seem to be getting that that's the way that you win the game. And I honestly think that Candiace's vote might have ruined it for everybody. Herself, Rob, everybody. I'll get to it. But of course, we have this challenge. The top 6 have an opportunity to win a dagger, an extra vote. Rob has to see who amongst the 5 of them are lying, and he gets to steal their tablet. And he nailed it, right? Natalie was lying. She's the one that had the dagger. He says, Natalie, give me your tablet. He takes it. He now has 2 votes. Comes back to the castle and says, listen, let's make a pact. I have the dagger. Let's not tell anybody who it is. That way, you know, we can save it for a time, whatever. We're all protected. That is something that a faithful would do. And, you know, if you're playing too much like a traitor, a la Lisa Rinna, voting for Portia night 1, huge mistake. I truly believe that that was her biggest downfall in the game. People are going to catch on to that. So I love that Rob is playing the faithful game, tried and true, because that's how you win, honestly. It's how you build trust. That's how you get to the last fire pit and have everybody around you believing that you're a faithful. So I don't understand why Candiace can't see that and lean into it. If Candiace were smart, she would have saw the writing on the wall that Lisa Rinna was being voted out at that round table. And I get it, you know, a housewife doesn't go against a housewife. But when you do the rogue Rob vote, you have just showed all of your cards. Because Rob, you know, along with Colton, is really the one at that round table specifically that presented a lot of evidence against Lisa. And I know it's easy as a viewer to say this, but if I'm at the round table, I'm thinking, okay, Lisa was just banished. Rob was very vocal about it. So maybe he knows something that I don't know. And then Candiace did a spite vote against Rob. Of all people, like if you wanted a throwaway vote, vote for somebody who didn't say anything at the round table at all. But now, if I'm sitting there, and I think Johnny is onto it, because he does mention Rob. Well, he mentions it to Candiace, so maybe not. But I was like, Candiace, what are you doing? You're ruining this for everybody. And some would argue that Rob is the one who ruined it by turning on Lisa. But Rob could not go down with the sinking ship. Like, people were already on to Lisa. And if Rob were to adamantly defend her, it would have been suspicious. It's what Candiace did at the round table, and people were suspicious of her. So I don't know. I really, really hope that Rob makes it out of this. I don't know what I'm going to do if Robert Rauch gets banished. And I will say, after Lisa Rinna got banished, her exit and her exit interview really got me. It really surprised me. And, she's crying and she's very emotional, and she talks about what this experience meant to her. And she says, the end of the Housewives was very difficult for me. And I feel like I didn't know that. I mean, of course you can assume that it would be difficult for anybody, but the last couple seasons for Lisa Rinna on the Housewives became pretty tumultuous. And, there was a bit of a toxic relationship between the audience and Lisa. And look, was Lisa to blame for some of that? Sure. But I'm glad that we were able to see Lisa in this light. And, Beverly Hills needs a shakeup. It does. And, when I was watching those final seasons of Beverly Hills, there were times that Lisa Rinna was really agitating me. But if we saw this version of Lisa Rinna back on Beverly Hills, it makes me excited, it does. It does. So who knows? Maybe that's where the road will lead. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Do you want to see Lisa back on Beverly Hills?